Hey, what is happening? This is Jeff Kohler, the Option Addict from OptionAddict.net. And after conducting some thorough research here tonight, I'm ready to lay down another weekly watch list. A few things I want to mention up front before I do that is I'm looking here at the S&P 500. This is something that I pointed out earlier last week on the blog. We've got a nice little coiling pattern here. Prices just really started to constrict over the last month or so, which leads me to believe that there's going to be a breakout here sooner than later. And this rally that we saw at the end of the day on Friday leads me to believe that we might start to break out to the upside. So if we violate this little trend line here, if we start getting into the 1370 range, then I'm calling for a move back up to 1500. Simple as that.
Isn't that a daisy?
So this little price pattern here is going to be very telling as far as which direction the market might go. For the last month, we've been without a trend. It's been really hard to trade down here in this choppiness, but I think a breakout is coming, so I want you to keep a close eye on this. I also want to mention that if you're tracking the US dollar right now, I think we're going to see some significant weakness. And the way you might want to track this is by following some of the currency ETFs, like the FXE, for example. We're looking pretty strong here and likely to see a breakout this week. If you also look at the yen versus the dollar via the FXY, we're seeing a nice little bounce here and a move higher. I mean, even the British pound, the FXB, I'm thinking we might see a bottom here as well. So looking for some weakness in the, which is likely to lead some of these currency ETFs back up to some of their prior highs and some of them into new highs. So that's going to be something else you want to watch this week. Also in regards to the old economic news items, we've got existing home sales, PPI, consumer confidence, durable orders, new home sales, crude inventories, GDP. We've got all kinds of things coming out this week, so as always, make sure that you are managing your risk properly and you're staying diversified, because a lot of these news items can really influence which way the market wants to move, so make sure you're being careful. Well, I'm going to start off with a couple price patterns like I normally do each week, and we're going to go to, I don't have that many to be quite honest, I've only got 3 this week that I'm watching. I'm watching a symmetrical triangle on DEER, ticker symbol DE, which to me looks like it's just a breath away from breaking out to the upside. And if that does happen, we're talking about a 25-point movement when this does confirm, and it's right on the cusp of doing so. So I want you to keep a close eye on this one. This could be an explosive move back up to new highs. And I'm also looking at BCE. This is also a repeat from prior watch lists, but I'm actually going to think about taking this trade here Monday morning. Why? Because I can manage my risk in anticipation of a breakout. When and if it does, I'll move up my stop right here to about 36 as it breaks out. I'm going to lock in some gains that way and, of course, going to tighten up my risk at the same time. Last price pattern I have for today is BGC. And this stock had been hammered pretty well, and it's starting to recover, and it's in the early stages of an upward trend. You can see it's got higher highs and higher lows. But what I'm watching here is a nice little flag formation that's been going on right back down here to support. So if you want to trade this as a support bounce, which we got a nice one here on Friday, feel free to do that. Or if you're waiting for this to confirm as a flag, wait for a breakout above this little overhead resistance line right at about here. Call it about 63. Now I've got a couple other non-pattern related stocks that I'm watching for breakouts or that have broken out. Most notable is CMED, which if you did not take this on Friday, I'd encourage you to take another strong look at it Monday morning, especially if it pulls back. It's easy to define your risk right here at 54. Okay, the stock is not too far overextended from that. Yeah, there's earnings coming up here, but maybe you can kind of slowly nibble into this trade. I love the setup here. This is a really, really strong move. I'm also watching ICLR. Kind of a similar circumstance here where your risk is pretty easy to manage at your old highs. And then also FCL. If the coal story still pans out, I think this will be a really good leading indicator as such. So if you're thinking about coal stocks, if you missed that whole explosion 3 weeks ago when I started talking about those, don't jump into those right away, right here, right now. But follow FCL. And if you see a breakout here above, let's call it 57, take the trade. Use that level to put your stop or to manage your risk. A couple bearish ideas. ADSK, waiting for another breakdown here. You can see it's kind of trading sideways through this region. When it starts to make new lows, you might want to consider getting short or buying some puts. Surmodics, SRDX, same thing. It's consolidating down here at its lows. If it breaks below this support level, I'm going to buy some puts. CHL, same thing, although here you've got maybe a little bit more of a triangle formation. Yeah, I can give that. So this one, either way, if it breaks to the upside or downside, be prepared to buy calls or puts. It's likely to get pretty volatile. And last on this list is NIHD. And if you look at this, kind of a similar circumstance here, where it might be coiling up. It might be a little bit early to trade this one, but usually when the stock goes through low levels of volatility, it's followed by high levels of volatility. So when you see a breakout here, which is probably going to be around earnings, look to get on board. Now I've got some stocks that I'm also looking to get long or get short this week, and I'll share those with you via a few slides. Here you go. So in summary, we talked about a few trade ideas here, but the S&P is likely to confirm which direction it's going to want to trend from here, so make sure you're watching that pattern. If I had to pick what I'm going to be doing this week, I'm probably going to be getting long the four horsemen, which is Google, Amazon, Apple, and RIM. And I like ag stocks here, to be quite honest. Look at agricultural stocks. CF and MOS are my favorite out of those. And if I'm looking to get short anything right now, it is definitely healthcare and it is definitely financials. If you look in those groups, you're going to see all kinds of great bearish setups, so make sure you're watching. In the meantime, this has been the Option Addict, and that's been my watch list. So, thanks for watching.
Hey, I tell you what, you can take a good look at a butcher's ass by sticking your head up there, but wouldn't you rather take his word for it?